Going on, guys? Welcome back to your favorite sports podcast, probably your favorite podcast of all time, out of every category of podcast. Miss Clocks on the Stove, your usual host, myself, Grayson Fisher, with me, the one and only Zachary. Don't know your middle name, Watts. I think it's Douglas.
Douglas.
Douglas. Oh, I didn't know your middle name. Okay, a little
Yeah.
KDW, man.
Yeah.
Today, episode 83, we're gonna be talking and breaking down the fights we think you should watch and that are going to be the best on UFC 287. Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya 4/2 in Miami, Florida, which is actually probably only like 45 minutes away from Mr. Watts right now. Actually, probably a little longer because you're in like you're in Nobo.
Yeah, you also got to consider that no one knows how to drive in South Florida, so I would say it could be as much as 2 hours away from
Yeah,
me.
the distance isn't that far.
Yeah.
It's just the stop and go traffic.
As the crow flies, as the old Peppers would say. But yeah, not not too shabby.
But yeah, diving into this card, I mean, we were just talking about it before. We talked a little bit about it with Mr. James Lynch in our last podcast. Go check that out. Shout out James. What a guy, man. What a guy. This card is super fucking stacked. And if they just gave it time to promote it and like didn't just do it the week of the fight, I think it could have been one of the biggest cards in a while because it's so stacked. It's in Miami. You got Masvidal on it. And I understand, listen, Masvidal is the king of Miami. Like I completely agree. Like you watch the embeddeds and you go watch like anything, like he's that guy in Miami. Like he like honestly, I think it's cooler than being that guy anywhere else. Like Miami's dope and it doesn't have like the liberal bullshit of being like a star in California. But yeah, he's the guy in Miami. But people are forgetting Gilbert Burns is a South Florida guy too. Like, yeah, he's Brazilian, but they train 20 minutes away from each other, you know? So that's
Yeah.
going to help draw attention to that fight as well. You got, the youngest fighter on the UFC roster on this card. You have probably one of the best matched up fights I've seen in a long time between Adrian Yanez and Rob Font. It's a great card. The prelims are good. It's a great overall card, and I'm extremely excited to dive in. Zach, any pre-words before we get involved? We get after this?
Yeah, literally the moment they dropped the announcement for this fight, I went online and I tried to look at tickets because I mean, if it's in this close of vicinity to me, like why wouldn't you want to check it? And when we had the opportunity to go to UFC or the fight night in Orlando with the Kevin Holland, Corey and fight, like or not Corey Wonder Boys, excuse me, sorry, Wonder Boy, but when we saw that tickets were fair price, it was enjoyable to go to. The moment the tickets dropped for this fight, I think they were in the $700 range.
Oh yeah, dude. It was like seats worse than the seats we had for Orlando were 500.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't even know how you attend an event if you're not well off. Like, just
Yeah.
good luck. Good luck bringing your wife and kids. Like, they can stay at home.
But I think if I went to a card of this caliber, I got to be close. Like it was fine with the fight night because it was like we were kind of there for the experience, and like honestly, I just had a great time.
Oh yeah,
But if I was gonna watch a fight of this caliber, I'd have to be close. I'd want to be there. You know what I mean? Like if I can't watch it clearly on my TV, I'd want to like actually be there.
yeah, I
'Cause
agree.
we technically weren't there for the
Yeah,
fight
no,
night.
no,
Like
dude,
we were like not there.
it was funny because like as I was like sitting up there and I was looking down, I was like, I can hear it, but I was like, I'm literally that guy on TV that you hear in the background that like screams from like a kick that like lands on a forearm because I
Yeah.
can't see shit. I'm literally just
Yeah.
screaming for the moment up here. Like I don't care. But I mean it for a one-time thing, don't
Dude, we
regret it
paid
at
what,
all.
$70? It was
Yeah.
so worth it. It was a
Yeah.
good fun weekend.
Yeah. No, I like that card a lot. And for fight night, we had probably contender for fight of the year. So
Yeah, yeah,
we got
with Holland
everything
and
we
Wonder
could have
Boy.
asked
Yeah,
for.
yeah, we had a great time. But let's dive into this card. We're not going to talk about these fights, but I want to give a couple shout outs to Cynthia Calavillo. She's a dog. She's fighting Lupe Godinez. I don't know who she is, but she's the favorite. It's going to be a dog. Carlos Williams and Chase Sherman's a heavyweight fight to keep your eye on for sure. I want to say our boy Christian knows Chase Sherman.
Our digital mark.
Yes, he does. He does know Chase Sherman. So definitely, let's hopefully he wins. Let's talk to Christian about getting him on.
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
big.
Gerald Merchishart. I don't know exactly how to say his last name, but that's a good fight with Joe Pfeiffer. You got Michelle Watterson. Obviously, she's a dog. But let's start us off with our first fight that we're going to talk about, which is our main event prelim. A lot before we even dive into this fight, Zach. Let's talk about the controversy. When this
Mm.
card was originally dropped, this fight that we're about to talk about, Chris Curtis versus Kelvin Gastelum at middleweight, was the opening pay-per-view. They added Raul Rosas Jr. to the card, who's the youngest UFC fighter on the roster, and they put the Gastelum fight on as a prelim. And when this got announced, I mean, we have to talk on this, but we can get a little more in depth now. When this got announced, Chris Curtis took to Twitter and basically bashed and was like, "What the fuck? Why aren't we there?" Like going crazy and stuff. And there's a lot of mixed opinions on it. Basically Chris Curtis said it's bullshit. We should be the card. That kid should be in the prelims. Raul was like, "No, fuck you." And then he was just, it was kind of just like, do you blame Chris Curtis for being mad, or should he just take what he can get? Zach, I want to know what your thoughts are on this topic of conversation.
Now, there's two ways I initially perceived what went down with this. The first thing being when you have two names like Chris Curtis and Kevin Gastelum, that just doesn't seem like it should be on a prelim in any way, shape, or form. Like there's just no excuse for it, unless like you had the next five fights above you, title fights or number one contending spots. Like I can understand why it would be there, but look, I get it from a marketing standpoint, from Dana's shoes. You have the youngest fighter in the UFC that you want to continue to promote. You kind of want to hype him up. So you're going to continuously put him in the spotlight in order to kind of boost his image for him. Because let's be honest, I tried to follow the kid on social media. You can't have a private account if you want to blow up.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost.
I
When we
think he
tried to,
might I think he might be public now though.
yeah, he should be. If not, that's one of the biggest blunders in all of personal imaging. Regardless of that, look, your whole point as a producer or a director of a show is to put on the best performance for the fans. And you can't tell me that this gimme fight for this Rosas kid is any better than the show that's going to be put on from Gastelum and Curtis. These guys are so well known in the UFC realm. Casuals even know who they are just from constantly hearing their names, seeing highlights of them. Like these guys have never been boring in their fight. Well, I'm not going to say never been boring, but like they tend to put on a show typically when they do fight. And we know what we're getting out of the Rosas fight. We know you're just feeding him another trash can to kind of build his name up a little bit. It's not really, I can understand if it was like his first real test and like, oh, he has a possibility of losing. Like, yeah, that's understandable. You're feeding him more trash, bro. And that's no offense to his opponent. I'm just saying I don't know his opponent that well enough. And I know for me personally, since I would be comfortable saying I follow the UFC well enough, if I don't at least know any of your background, or if I don't like know like some of what you've done prior, it's not saying that I haven't done my due diligence, because like that is also on me, but it's also because like you're just not that well known of a fighter in the sport. And they're trying to build this dude's image. We know what they're trying to do for Rosas, so it's not a knock on his opponent at all. But I just feel like we know what we're gonna get. It's an easy win for Rosas, and it's kind of just like, oh, all right, like brush that one off. But like, why not just flip him around? Why not put him as a prelim headline?
I
I
think
don't
it
understand.
is, at the end of the day, it's all about money. We could say this, we could say that, and it's all about money. And Masvidal has even been preaching that this whole embedded. He's like, everyone's saying Colby, Colby, Colby. He goes, but Colby only can't even sell past 300,000. He goes, the only time he did was when he fought me. He's like, and we know it's all about selling pay-per-views. And when it comes to that, I don't think Raul's a bigger name than, because Kelvin Gastelum's the one that's the big name here. I like Chris Curtis a lot, but Kelvin Gastelum's the one that's the big name. That Izzy fights what built him. I don't think Raul is a bigger name than Gastelum because of who he is as a fighter. I think it's because of the marketing of the UFC. We talked about it last pod with James Lynch. The marketing of MMA in general is terrible, but they've been just fucking milking the cash cow from Rosas, dude. Like they they blew him up on the Contender Series, feeding these nobodies. Like they're using the 17-year-old, 17-year-old, 17-year-old. I think he might be 18 now though, but they're feeding that, instead of feeding Kelvin Gastelum, and then you look what he did against Izzy, and then Izzy's fighting. I think it's a better doorway. I understand it from the UFC's point of view. I also understand it from Chris Curtis' point of view. You're losing money. You're losing money from that. To
Why
a kid, to a
why not
child.
push this? Why not push this to the fight night? Why not push this to the free fight night? I don't understand. Like you originally proposed it to them as you're going to be a main card for UFC 287. That's a great contract for them to sign, and then you just pull the rug out under these
Bro,
two
you
great
see,
fighters.
you see. All right, who's the main event? Izzy Pereira. That's
Uh,
that's 500K easy. That's a
Easy,
500K pay per view buy easily.
yeah.
Okay, so you're like, fuck yeah, I want to do that. And they're gonna get a little bit of a bonus probably for being the main event of the prelims, but like they're not touching that pay per view money now.
Yeah, which, oh, dude. it just feels like such a shot to the face for some of these guys that have done it for so long.
Especially you're losing the money to a kid that's a senior in high school.
Yeah, like
That's why he's like the most mad, and I completely agree. Dude. No, I'm not saying. Listen, I am somewhat of a Rosas hater, but I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be there. I'm just saying he hasn't proven himself outside of the media. There's no marketing for this kid as a fighter.
yep.
Chris Curtis and Gaslam proved their worth already. This kid
Oh yeah.
hasn't. He hasn't.
Yeah.
Gaslam's headline, like he's headline fight cards.
Yeah, let me prove something real quick because if you just looked at it from a record standpoint, Rosas 8 or 7-0, excuse me. Christian Rodriguez is 8-1. Let me go look at his 8-1 record and see who he's beaten. All right. Last fight, Joshua Weems. It was the Qatar Allen card. Won via anaconda choke. Fight before that lost to Jonathan Pierce.
Dude, listen to this. His fight against McIntosh, the guy was 0-3. Pierce is
Bruh.
solid. Pierce is solid. Weems, I don't know who he is. Cortez.
Dude fought one fight in Bellator, won it, got cut. How do you win and get cut? how do you
Yeah,
win your first? He got a first round submission and they cut him.
they were like, dude, it wasn't bad. No.
Hey, man.
That's funny.
Dude, it was the Chandler Pit. It was the Patricio Pitbull Chandler card. They put him on it.
Damn.
Yeah, it was his first fight. Win first round submission. You're gone.
Yeah, I was.
Fights on something called
Bro,
Driller.
imagine like going home to your family, like
I
I
made it.
like no, just like what I got fired for what? For getting a first round submission. Like what fucking more could you do?
Yeah, dude won on the contender series, didn't get signed.
That's
What?
crazy.
What? Yeah, see, like this is another thing.
Wait,
Dana White tries.
he won the contender series fight and didn't get signed?
Yeah, week 7, contender series. Dana White's contender series, week 7, 2021.
Yeah, he did.
Unanimous decision versus
And
Reyes
then he
Cortez.
fought that 0-3 guy. No fucking way.
Guarantee you, I will bet my life savings this guy gets cut after he loses. I will bet my life on it.
Well, he's gonna make a good payday.
He's gonna make
Yeah.
his parting gift will be the best parting gift you can ever get. You're gonna get probably submitted within like the first round, probably. Even if you're able to survive to the second, you're probably gonna lose anyway, kid. Like it's just like this is another thing that I have an issue with. There's so many times where we see these inflated records in the UFC. Like you're used to it in boxing because like you understand it. You're like dodging guys. When you see a guy with a record down the UFC that's like 8-9-1 or like 9-0, just literally go on ShareDog, Tapology, any of these sites. Look who they fought. There's a ton of professional organizations, and look, if you're a professional organization entity, all respect to you for trying to put together a good card. It would be a joke to say that the quality of your fighters compares anything to the UFC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
in
yeah.
my
Unless
eyes,
you're one of the major promotions.
it's kind of like Power 5 with
Yeah.
college. You have your PFL, you have your One, you have your UFC, you have your Bellator, and you have your Rising. Outside of those 5, now there are like some hit or miss fighters here and there, but if you're not in one of those main 5, you're not really like the
You're
top
not.
dog.
Yeah,
You're not eating.
You're not a huge guy,
Yeah.
or you're like an up and comer. Like you could be like a Titan FC champ. That just means you're young and you're still coming up.
Yeah, exactly. But like, kind of get into that like college era where we have our Power 5s. We got our Power 5 conference of fighting right now, and UFC is unfortunately the SEC.
Yeah,
So
on steroids.
yeah, I'm clipping that shit. You best believe that.
but yeah, let's actually dive into this fight. So we got Kelvin Gastelum versus Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis 39-0. He's the underdog at 105. Kelvin Gastelum 17-8-0 minus 125. Kelvin Gastelum is 1-5 in his last 6. Had that split decision loss to Izzy, which was a fucking war. Actually, I think it was unanimous. I'm sorry. But since it was like, you know what? I don't think Gaslam wasn't good because I think he's fucking nasty. I think he put so much of everything he had into that fight that like he lost a little bit of himself, if that makes sense. Like he dug to a dark, dark place, basically like all or nothing it, and he ended up losing. And I think like something in his mental or maybe even his physical, he lost because of that fight,
Yeah.
and it's really hard to come back. And you see
Yeah.
that happen a lot, like when guys that fight John Jones or guys that fight like a super super elite fighter, and they have a super close fight with them, like fucking nail biter. You see them never able to recover again. And I think it's because they committed so much to that camp of like becoming the champ or knocking them out or knocking them off. And then in that fight, they push themselves past the level they never have. And I think it might be a psychological thing. I haven't endured it yet, but it might be a psychological thing. It might be something, but you lose a little bit of yourself. And I think that's what happened with Gaslam. I still think he's fucking deadly. And I think he's a top dog. I mean, he's only fought top 10 guys. So like I'll give him that. But I think that loss to Izzy hurt him a little. I think he lost something.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think at some point or another in people's lives, in any given aspect, you burn the boats essentially. You commit, you put your all eggs in one basket, whatever metaphor you want to use. You go 100% for something, and you convince yourself in your mind, there's nothing I could have done different, or there's nothing I could have done more to prepare me better for this. And when you still end up failing,
Barely, too.
yeah,
Barely.
yeah, you like that just proves to you in that moment right there, you did everything you could, and it still wasn't enough. And it's grueling to overcome in any aspect, especially in fighting, because combat, it's the end all be all. Like you can, like Joe Rogan said it best. He goes, you can talk shit if you beat someone in basketball. They're like, oh yeah, well I beat you in basketball. I can beat you in this. You whoop someone's ass in fighting, they can't say shit. You just beat him. You just beat him in the most
Yeah, but I could
bare.
beat you in basketball.
Yeah, yeah, I could kick your ass. Like, so what are you gonna do? So, like, it I couldn't imagine just overcoming that. And then not only that, once you have to like mentally accept that your all isn't good enough to be a champ, you've already lost your championship mentality. You can't contend with some of those top dogs because they're not fighting to put food on the table. They're fighting to prove something to themselves. Like they're fighting for
Yeah,
something
and
a
it's
lot
not
more.
even a skill thing. I still think Kelvin Gastelum is fucking disgusting. I still think he's
Yeah,
extremely good.
yeah,
It's psychological.
yeah.
You're
It
like I personally as a competitor, like Grayson's not a fan, Grayson as the competitor. I would rather, and I know it sounds so crazy, but I'd rather get fucking starched or like my ass whooped than barely lose. Because
yeah,
if I get my ass handed to me, it's like that guy was just fucking way better. Like that guy was just good, But if you barely lose, it's like you're good enough and it just wasn't your day.
yeah.
And when you're talking about a UFC title shot, like you only get one of those sometimes,
Yeah.
So when you barely lose and then you see Izzy run through everyone else, that's gonna fuck you, dude. That's gonna fuck you up mentally.
Yeah, from the Musashi book that I've had for a while, I think one of the best quotes. It's like train so that even your rival couldn't beat you on your worst day, even if he was at his best. Like your worst should be better than his best. That's how you have to mentally prepare. And look, you can say you had a bad day, but if Gaslin probably thought he had his best day, he
Yeah,
still didn't get it. Like
yeah.
that's got to be so like just
God, that's gotta suck,
that's
dude.
gotta suck so bad. Like, oh man,
Why did he shoot for that takedown? He should have kept throwing hands, bro. He could have
it's
finished
ingrained.
him.
It's ingrained in your brain. You just like you do it. You do certain things. It's what makes you who you
Dude,
are.
if he kept throwing hands, he finishes Izzy there. I think he gassed.
Probably. But dude, shoot. Even if he gets a takedown, what, he's just gonna lay there if he's
Yeah,
gassed?
exactly. Like I don't even understand what that
He's like, all
was.
right. He's like, all right. I'm gonna breathe for 5 seconds. We're gonna disengage, and I'm gonna lean on him. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
fucking land a crazy head kick and end it. But dude,
But
it,
yeah,
it
so
hurts. It
Gaslam's
hurts.
on a low end, but Curtis has one loss in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 fights. He's 9-1 his last 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them are finishes.
Damn.
So he's on a fucking tear, dude. He just knocked out uh Buckley. So
Dude,
this fight is so much better than the Rosas fight, dude. Fuck, I don't know who I got.
Curtis
If
has
Gaslam loses, he's done. By the way, he's cut. He's gone.
yeah.
100%. 100p. He's gone. So his back against the wall, and that either makes you the best fighter ever, or that makes you the shittiest fighter ever.
Yeah.
But Curtis is kind of comfy here. But Curtis knows if he beats Gaslam and if he finishes Gaslam, he gets a number next to his name and he starts getting an actual path.
Dude, he's 30-9. This man has fought for a long time. Dude,
Dude,
he's
he
30.
literally retired. You remember that story?
Oh yeah.
He
He's
retired and they were
he's
like, "Yo, dude,
35.
you're still in the tournament." He's like, "Fuck yeah, dude, I still have a chance." And then Ray Cooper just bodied him.
Jeez.
He trains with Sean Strickland. But yeah, exactly. Enough of the tiptoeing around. Let's get to the point. Who do we think's winning this fight?
You know, I'm trying to view it from a mental perspective because these guys have both done it for so long that like skill wise, pretty even. It's styles make fights. This is a great stylistic matchup. Like they
Great
could,
fucking fight.
this could be a wrestling match. This could be stand and bang. Like this can go a lot of different ways. But I think Curtis is kind of in his like one more prove it run for himself. Like just give itself one more run for the title shot. Because like you said, if he wins, he gets a ranking next to his name. Maybe they throw him in for a title. Fuck it, end of his career. I think he has more to fight for in this. Gaslam just kind of in that weird place at this point in his career. I think he's just kind of waiting to get like baptized or like just something to let him know that like he shouldn't do it anymore. And what better way to go out than against Chris Curtis? But then again, who knows? I have a weird feeling Curtis is probably going to find a way to pull one out of this. He's been in it for longer. He feels like he's got something worth gaining out of this fight.
It's crazy because Gaslam's in his. I saw someone talk about this, and I don't remember who it was. It might have been Chael. Gaslam's in his prime age. He's at 31.
Yeah.
28 to 32 is your prime. And it feels like we're talking about him retiring because it's just like he fell off so hard. Um, I really like both of these guys. Gaslam trains with Henry Cejudo. Curtis trains with Sean Strickland. But if I had to be honest, I see it going this way. I think first round's all Gaslam. I think he's a better fighter. I think he's more technical. I think he's faster. I think he's better. Then somehow or another, Curtis is going to clip him or figure him out, and he's going to win the second and third round, and he's going to win the fight.
Yeah, I like that.
I think Curtis is just hot as fuck right now.
Yeah, it's fighting with something to prove. But I mean, even the age thing, like I know you have your fighting prime, like physicality wise, but mentality wise, dude's already 17-8.
Yeah.
Dude's been doing it for a while. And I mean, you look at guys
He's
like
17-8, and he was 16-3.
yeah. Honestly, dude, I feel like the biggest factor.
Think about that, dude. 16-3 is like fuck, that's fire. 17-8 is like you're two away from double digit losses, and like
yikes, buddy. Pack your bags.
yeah.
But I mean, honestly, it's like when your body's just not there. Because I mean, Glover still looked decent for his 40-year-old ass before he retired.
Yeah, that
And
was
still looked
crazy.
yeah. But like you started to see guys like even Kamaru in his last fight, man, like his knees just look like they aren't
Dude,
there.
he said he said he has to walk downstairs backwards so he doesn't load his knee.
Yeah, that's so fucked.
That would suck. Dude, Kai's in his stairs. I have to go upstairs every single time. That would be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, dude, even another fighter that I think about is Tony. You know how Tony did his little like side to side, like bro, he couldn't even do it at the end of his career. It looked like old Yeller, bro. He's just trying to like he would like do it just for like the show, but like as a fan, you look at that and you're like, oh,
And
don't do it.
he's hurting, so he's
Yeah,
like,
and you're like, don't do it, man. By the way, I saw a video the other day. It was like rewatching the Gaethje Tony Ferguson fight, dude. Tony's legs hurt so bad he couldn't throw leg kicks, so he was just punching Gaethje's
yeah,
quad.
he landed like 18 leg punches. He was just punching his leg, bro.
Bro, what the fuck? If I was in the ring and some guy just like ducked down and you're like, oh, he's gonna shoot and you just punch your kneecap, like I'd be like, bro, what the fuck? What are you doing?
He's just crazy, dude. He's crazy.
I wonder how bad, like realistically, like that would like hurt.
Probably doesn't feel good.
I mean, yeah, but like you're conditioning your leg to take like massive leg kicks, and this dude just punches you in the knee, and you're like, oh wow. You're like, damn, that really got me. Oh fuck.
But yeah, moving on to our next fight, we got Raul Rosas Jr. coming in at a heavy favorite. As the start of the pay-per-view. -260 versus Christian Rodriguez coming in at +210. I don't have much to say about this fight at all, actually. I'm just going to say I think Raul wins it because I think they're feeding him an easy dub. He probably gets a submission in the second round.
Yeah. If I was gonna say if you want to throw money to make money, throw it in the first. But if you want a safer bet, put it on the second. Because
He's going to
Christian
get a
Rodriguez.
sub.
Yeah, but Christian Rodriguez, looking through his track record, he has submissions of his own, so he's proved he has a submission offense, which would lead me to believe he has somewhat of submission defense.
Yeah, but isn't his only submission that 0-3 guy?
No.
Oh, no, he's 4 subs. Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah. He's showcased that he has some
He fights out
awareness.
of Rufus Sports too. That's the Pettis brothers gym.
Yeah, so I believe he has the mental capacity to kind of survive a round with Rosas, but I just don't think Rosas has developed enough as a striker to really like make you fear it, like really like put the fear of God in you, like when it comes to his hands. So it's
He's only
probably
18, dude. Like,
yeah, but you're a UFC fighter, man. Put the fear of
yeah.
God in you. Put a fear of God in you. Like it's kind of how I see it. Look, he'll probably get an early takedown in the first. Takes the dudes back. They wrestle around for however long it is. Dude survives till the second. Christian's probably going to be gassed and Rosas will get it done. If not, it'll be a very, very boring decision.
Yeah, I
Very
agree.
boring.
Yeah, it's
Like,
either going to be a cool sub or it's going to be such a boring fight.
yeah. And you know what? I'm kind of rooting for it being a boring sub because then Dana looks like an even bigger dumbass for not putting
Yeah.
it. Because I have a feeling the Gastelum fight's going to bang. And I
No, it's
hope,
going to bang for sure.
yeah. And I hope they prove the Rosas like whole debacle so wrong. Like, he's gonna make Dana look like such a dumbass. I just can't wait for it. I'm such a Dana hater. Like if there's like me hating Dana and then there's Izzy hating, there's Izzy and Pereira hating each other. Yeah, that we're like 1 and 2 in UFC rankings for haters. But man, yeah, I'm done talking about this Rosas kid.
Yeah, but the next 4 fucking fire. Kevin Holland, he's back at welterweight, coming in as the heavy favorite at -260 over Ponzinibbio. I don't know how to say it.
Ponzinibbio.
Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio's had a crazy win pretty recently, actually. Who was it against? Oh, that's right. He beat Moreno after Moreno was whooping his ass. He's kind of like a little gatekeeper guy. Like he's tough, but
He's
he's really
30-6.
yeah, but he hasn't really beat. But dude, he hasn't beat nobody.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he's 30-6, but 3 of his 6 losses came from his last 5 fights.
By the way, I don't know if you've been seeing Kevin Holland's social media activity lately, but he is convinced that Ponzinibbio is going to back out before the fight. He said, watch it happen. I'm going to go back and watch the video because I was looking at this the other day. Dude was pissed as hell.
Well, you think weight wise, you think he thinks Ponzinibbio is too big?
Dude, all I saw was he went on. Why can't I think of it? Who was it? Yeah. So yeah, Kevin Holland takes social media, goes crazy. He's like, they're gonna pull him out.
It'll be so motherfucking easy. I promise you I can make 155. But at the end of the day, the only thing I want to do is fight at 185 because a nigga don't want to cut no weight. I want to eat food and smack big booties and say, hey, Judy.
God, I love him so much.
Dude is such a character, but God, I think it was on Twitter, but yeah, he went on his live and pretty much started like throwing this whole fit. Like they tried to rework another fight. They made me cut all this weight. And like now I'm probably not even gonna fight on the card. He's like, I better get my pay-per-view money still because he's like, it's not my fault, like all this stuff.
Damn. I wonder if Ponzinibbio, as I say it?
Yeah, Ponzinibbio.
I wonder if Ponzinibbio is like heavy, like his Holland saw him, he looked big.
Yeah. By the way, Jorge Masvidal got into an exchange with Kevin Holland at the hotel. I don't know if you saw this.
I think it's pretty fake. It didn't look too legitimate to me. Also, I really fucking like Kevin Holland a lot. And can we just state a third thing? AJ Ferrari was trying to chirp at Kevin Holland too.
Dude, I just saw the tweet. It was like, can we talk about AJ Ferrari deciding to show Kevin Holland his abs in the middle of an argument?
Yeah, like what? You know what would happen? AJ Ferrari would blast double him, and then Kevin Holland
knee in the face.
Yeah, or he just let him take him down and choke him unconscious.
Yeah, like oh my god, dude. Oh, it's so funny.
God, AJ is such a fucking bum, dude. I can't stand that kid.
Yeah. Wait, he's not the one that sexually assaulted a girl, is
No,
he?
he is. Yeah, he is.
Oh, he is the guy that sexually
Yeah, he was
assaulted?
at the Florida State tournament too when I was there. He's a fucking bum, dude. But I like Kevin Holland. Quick little story I learned about Kevin Holland. Um,
Okay, I found the video. I just sent it to you, by the way.
Kevin Holland was in high school, and I think he said when he was a junior, he kind of like dropped out of high school, and his kung fu school raised him, and they used kung fu as his subjects. So for like history, he'd have to learn the history of kung fu. For he explained it in depth, but like he had a class for math, he had a class for history, science. He had all these classes. He had an English class. He had to write about kung fu, and then he got he's a like a fucking kung fu wizard. So I think that's pretty cool. You know, he did his school based on martial arts. I hope this fight happens because I love Kevin Holland, and I think Ponzinibbio, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Ponzinibbio.
Ponzinibbio, I think he tries to wrestle him. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I think Holland's striking is just so much more technical as long as he doesn't eat a big bomb. Like remember, he's got knockout power too, and look how he danced with Wonder Boy. That was a fucking awesome fight.
Yeah. The best part about the Wonder Boy fight is he just like wasn't expecting Wonder Boy to be that in shape. He was like, this old man is fast as shit.
Yeah,
He was kicking his ass. But I mean, probably the worst thing you can do in the world is try and stand up and bang with Wonder Boy. But you know, Kevin has never come off to me as a guy that's like belt chasing or anything along those lines. He just wants to put on a show for the fan. And that's the best kind of fighter you can have in the sport. Because you have a lot of guys that are contending for belts, but you rarely have strictly showmans. And Holland's gonna do his best in order to put on a show for the fans. If that means he has to stand and bang with some of the best strikers in the UFC, and it might mean he catches a loss, like he doesn't care. Like he'll get the fight of the night bonus. He'll do whatever he can to keep the fans happy. He's a fan pleaser. I love that for him. He's great for the sport. If they cut him, it's the worst mistake ever because they'll go make $1 million elsewhere. Honestly, Kevin Holland versus Mike Perry in like a bare knuckle boxing would probably break the internet, in my opinion.
I would rather
Uh,
see Kevin Holland go to glory.
that would be fire.
It'd be
Yeah,
sick.
he'd be a sick kickboxer, but
Yeah.
he's so good in so many
Or
other aspects.
karate combat because he's got kung fu. That'd be sick.
Yeah, it would be sick. Damn. Yeah, he's got a lot of options, but hopefully he sticks to the UFC because he's great to watch on Saturday nights. Let me just say that. So
So you
yeah.
rocking with Holland?
Yeah, I am rocking with Holland. I just think he's got what it takes. But according to this video that I'm seeing, there's also other speculations that I was seeing, but I don't think it's going to pan out. There were people saying that Ponzinibbio was going to back out, and the reason why Jorge and Holland started this fake beef shit is they're going to actually fight, and that Gilbert like actually isn't like doing shit. He's just like chilling, like just like okay. He's like I'm just Gilbert. Like all right, Gilbert. Like fuck,
Hit him
man.
on the head.
Yeah, you're just like what a name for a guy that murders people.
Yeah, Gilbert.
Like if I were to tell you, if this was pre-social media and you like told your guy, you're like, all right, man, we just signed a contract for you. Oh, who am I fighting? Some fucking Brazilian named Gilbert. You're like, oh, easy money. Shows up and literally murders you.
Yeah.
Rips your face off. That's kind of who Gilbert is. But damn. By the way, that video you sent me of Gilbert with the guy that had brain surgery, fucking love Gilbert, man.
Dude, he's such a great dude, man.
He's a great guy.
And the video Henry Hooft, his head coach, posts of him, he's cleaning the mats after they're sparring. And he's like, that's what I'm supposed to do, the amateurs.
Yeah.
And Gilbert Burns is doing it, like he's just a great dude. But our next fight, I'm sorry, I think this is the best fight on the whole fucking card is Rob Font versus Yanez. What's his first name again? Adrian Yanez. Rob Font. Coming in at plus 152, Adrian Yanez coming in at a minus 180. Rob Font is a Tampa native, was born and raised, lived his whole, I don't know if he lived his whole life, but was born and raised and lived in Tampa. He's boys with my jiu-jitsu coach, Dan Martinez. He now trains with Calvin Cater at the New England Cartel. Adrian Yanez, I believe he's a Texas boy. He fights at a Metro Fight Club. This fight's going to be a fucking banger, dude. Rob Font is one of those guys that like he tiptoed in the top 5 and then he fell out. I mean, he had great wins. He beat Sergio Pettis, who is now the bantamweight champion of the world in Bellator. Beat Ricky Simone, who's a dog. Knocked out Marlon Moraes. Beat Cody Garbrandt, and then he lost 2 close ones to Jose and Cheeto. Both were good fights, but he just looked a little bit behind. This is his kind of last run. He's 35. so he doesn't really have a lot. So this is like the Gaslam. No, it's not like that. This fight is Rob Font wins. He can dance back in that 5 and go on one more run. Adrian Yanez wins. He's only 29. He shows I'm here with the pack. Adrian Yanez is on a 9-fight win streak. So both of these dudes too, which is really cool, is they both we both really fuck with each other, but like we need this win. And they both said we're gonna stand in the middle and fucking bang. Like they're like fuck boring. Like this is fight of the night. They both said that. They're both extremely durable and extremely fast and technical. I think we're gonna get a fucking banger. I want to say Giannis, but my brain wants to say Font. I want to hear you speak first.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I got to go with Rob Font, and the reason is, Adrian Yanez hasn't fought in 10 months, dude. His last fight was June 18, 2022. You go from fighting 3 fights in 2021. You only have 1 fight in 2022, which was on the Qatar Emmett fight. That fight felt forever ago.
Yeah.
Dude hasn't fought in a minute.
Holy shit. That was his last fight?
Yes, dude. Dude, it's been a while. I don't know if it's an injury thing. I don't know if he's taking
okay, well, also Rob, if we're gonna do it off that, Rob Font just took a year off as well.
Was Rob injury related or
no, it was mental. After he lost to Jose or after he lost to Cheeto, he's like, I need to take some time.
Oh damn. So both these guys are gonna be rusty as hell.
Yeah, they're both coming off of a long break.
Okay, I'm kind of leaning towards Yanez because why the hell would Rob Font say in his interview? I hope Adrian Yanez doesn't sleep me.
My thing is, I think Font's better. His boxing is so fucking crisp. But I think like his age might be the reason he loses this. Like I think he might be a little slower than Yanez, and Yanez might be able to push the pace a little better. I'm gonna go Rob Font. Fuck it, Tampa boy. I'm going Rob Font in a great 3-round banger.
Dude, I forgot. Adrian Yanez is on a 5 consecutive bonus earning performance streak
and a 9-fight win streak.
And a 9-fight win streak. Damn, he's banging. Rob Font's never been knocked out before.
I believe so, yes.
Damn. Dude, this is just such a weird toss-up. Look,
it's such a good fight, dude. It's such a good fight. Font's from Florida, though.
Yeah, we got to go Florida.
I got to go for Rob Font, dude. It's such a fuck. I would not bet on this fight at all.
See, I'm the opposite. I think it's such a toss-up. It's worth throwing a little money on just because either way, you're going to be happy with the result. And look, if Font's an underdog, he's not that big of an underdog. Might as well just – it's a toss-up. If it's less than like 120 either way, they obviously the odds makers think it's a toss-up. Stylistically, it's great. Both these guys know how to bang. Rob's never been knocked out before. Yanez only knows how to put on performances. They both had some good time off, so you know they're coming in prepared. They're both hungry
more
for
durable
it.
Too.
Yeah, gonna be durable. They got the chin health. It's gonna be a show, man. Look, I'd say it's worth throwing some money on Font. It's screw it. Don't throw too much, but just whatever your tips are. If you got a little $5 left over from your mother asking you to go pick up shit from the grocery store, just tell your bookie you got something for him. Throw it on Rob Font for your boy. But yeah, I'll lean Rob Font. Fuck it, might as well.
Yeah, the next 2 fights are just thank you so much. Also, random. I don't know why this came into my mind, but you see Ochocinco tweeted yesterday. He's like, "Yo, could somebody get me in contact with Izzy? I'm in Miami. I'm trying to hang out with that man." And he does MMA. Dude, I love him so much. You know why I love Ocho so much? That's real quick. He gets paid to be himself, and that's why I love him.
Yeah.
He does MMA media for Bleacher Report. Ochocinco, like, how does that make any fucking sense? And when Masvidal fought
sports.
Yeah, when Masvidal fought Kamaru, he threw a bag on Masvidal.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I just had to say that. That's funny. I think him and Izzy would be awesome. He's a top 5 dream podcast guest, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Ocho?
Yeah.
I feel like he's a guy where like you can't bank on it, but if you just like hit him up in DM like, yo, come shoot a pod with us, he'd be like, all right, I'm coming.
Yeah, but he doesn't smoke cigars. That's all. He doesn't drink or smoke. He just smokes cigars.
No, he drinks whiskey.
I don't think so.
I mean, I follow him on Twitter. I've seen his video. Maybe I'm tripping. I know he smokes a fuck ton of cigars, but I know
he smokes a cigar a day.
Yeah, I know he smokes them at whiskey lounges, and you're telling me you're not having a little glass of whiskey
No,
yet.
I'm pretty sure he's dead sober. David Russ met him, and he was at a whiskey lounge, and he was just smoking a cigar. He threw it
Fair
on
enough.
Twitter. I'm here. Who wants to hang out? And David Russ pulled up. They went
Yeah.
to his Airbnb with him and played FIFA all night.
Yeah. I know his two houses are in Miami and Tampa. So he's
Yeah,
literally where both
he
of
was
us
in
are.
Jacksonville. Yeah,
Yeah. So
his
he's
wife
around.
got that like TV show in Tampa.
Yeah, Rosada, whatever her
Yeah,
name is. Yeah.
God, I love
But
him so much. I could talk about Ocho all day. Anyways, back to this. What a fight! We got co-main event. Gilbert Burns coming in at a huge minus 475 over Jorge Gamebred from the streets of Miami. Masvidal coming in at plus 350. Masvidal said, "If I lose this fight, I'm hanging it up. I can't fight for a title. I don't care to fight. I'm done." Both men want this fight to winner to get a title fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Jorge is gonna go out there and dog him. Excuse me. Woo. I think Gilbert's gonna go out there and dog him.
mhm.
But I did this fight build up in the embeddeds and everything. It did make me really like Jorge. He's a really good guy. I can't blame Jorge for the people overrating him. That's not his fault. He's doing the right thing. That's a me mad at like Joe Rogan, me mad at those people. Good for Jorge. I just think Burns is on another level, and I'm a huge fucking Burns fan, dude. I really like Burns. He's a really good guy. Um, where was I going with this? But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good fight. I do admit this is what I was gonna say. If Masvidal somehow does beat Burns or like catches him and sleeps him, I would rather see him fight Leon than Colby fight Leon. I would love to see Masvidal and Leon, bro. That three piece in a soda and they get the fucking fight now. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I I would like to see that. However, not a chance in hell. Because the way I look at this is if Gilbert beats Kamzat, this fight would have never been made.
Gilbert beats him in
It,
a 5 round fight.
yeah, we could
If that fight was
yeah,
5 rounds, he beats Kamzat.
yeah, and we can get to that another day. But even let's say he did beat Kamzat, this fight would have never been made.
Yeah.
They would have that would have been like sending Jorge to the slaughterhouse. It'd have been a joke. And I still think he is being sent to the slaughterhouse. I
Well,
at least
if you remember, it was Leon versus Jorge was scheduled, and then Jorge backed out with a fake rib injury so he could fight Colby for the payday.
which
That's what
fair
happened.
play.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah,
play.
I respect it. I respect
Yeah,
it.
earn your
But
money.
now, when you're begging Leon and Leon won't take it, you can't get mad at him because you fucked him over. He was willing to fight you.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can't pick and choose your battles, buddy. This is how that works.
Yeah, but
But
going into this fight, I think Gilbert's better at everything. I think maybe striking Masvidal's overall better, but with the wrestling, his jiu-jitsu is way better. His wrestling's better. Masvidal does train with Johnny Evelyn, who's a dog, so that's definitely going to help him. I think cardio is better for Burns. I just see way more ways for Burns to win, and I don't see Masvidal sleeping him.
yeah. I've been brushing up my Duolingo these past 17 days.
Yeah,
And
good.
I believe they should change El Dia de Muerta, the Day of the Dead, to April 8th. Is that when the fights go down?
Yeah.
April 8th. Yep. Switch it to April 8th because you're gonna get buried in Miami, Masvidal. It's gonna be the most proper way to send you out, bud. And we're sorry about it, but it's gotta be what it's gotta be. If you
And
really want to be,
that's where it started and it'll end, dude. That's pretty
yeah,
fine.
yep. It'll be perfect storybook for you. I know you envision only your future, but Burns is gonna probably lock in a little rear naked choke and put you to sleep in front of your own Pepe. Be like a scene in Coco where he's just like, I see him. Just
But
good
I
night.
mean, Masvidal does such a good job of marketing, dude. He has so many different sources of income. That's one thing I really like about him too. Is like he really used his like I'm the Miami fighter guy to help his brand. Like I fuck with him on that part. Also, I guarantee there's gonna be a huge Cuban rapper that's gonna be there, like Ozuna or one of those guys. They fuck with Masvidal heavy because he's the boy in Miami, and they're all boys with Pereira too because like the Brazilian Hispanic, like all the Hispanics are like with each other. So I bet you either Masvidal gets a walkout with that guy or like something big is gonna happen there. Also, the whole fucking stadium is gonna be cheering for Masvidal.
Yeah.
Even though he's the co-main event, that's his fight. Like that's his fans.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I do have to say because I know we have a good Hispanic following with our friends and family. I know you said it on accident, but you calling Ozuna a Cuban singer, he is Puerto Rican, so we need to address
Oh yeah,
this.
damn, my bad. But he's like big in the Hispanic community. That's what
No,
I meant.
he
Yeah,
is. That's why when you said it though, I was like, we're gonna get crucified if I let that slide.
yeah, yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, because I knew for a
All
fact, I
right.
was like, whoa. I was like, hold on now. But yeah, I definitely think I'm pretty sure he is boys with him though, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they're all cool as fuck. Yeah, they're all like boys.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if he
And he
walked out with
shouted out Pereira when Pereira won too. So like I could definitely, and it's in Miami. He's gonna be there. I'm just
yeah,
saying I could see him like rapping and like
rapping.
walking out with Jorge, which would be
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, that would be dope. I wish more like interactions took place like that. By the way, it would be funny as hell if Izzy walked out with Eminem since he said it's his 8 Mile moment. If he walked out, I would laugh my ass off. I think that would be the funniest shit if
Yeah,
he
I don't
just
think
had,
it'd be hard. It'd be cringe.
it would be cringe, but I think it'd be the best. I think it would be literally a top 5 moment just because like the implications of it. Same thing with I saw a video the other day. I think I said it to you where it was like if someone walked out to the Burger King song,
Yeah,
it'd be a top.
Colby. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a top 5
Whopper,
walkout.
Whopper, Whopper.
Could you, Pereira just walks out to the Whopper song and he's just like dead stone cold staring at the octagon, like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, what is about to happen? He's just like, it's Eminem versus the Burger King Whopper, man, bro. Like, what are you gonna do
I
about
think it'd be cool if we had more interactions like that. I know Colby said that Lil Wayne was gonna walk out with him, and that never happened. That'd have been sick.
it? Yeah. Colby says a lot of things that
Yeah.
just Colby Colby could gaslight anyone into believing anything. Colby could convince you that like we were getting like attacked. And he's like, we need to go, like fight the Russians or something.
But yeah, but let's get back to this. It's getting late. Burns, Masvidal. What do you think? I'm taking Burns. I don't think he
Burns.
finishes him. I'll take Burns 30-27, though. I think he dogs him.
Yeah, I'm gonna view it the same way how I viewed the kind of Colby Burns fight. I think Masvidal or Colby Burns, Masvidal, Colby fight, excuse me. But I just kind of view it where Jorge has a great preparation in stopping Gilbert, but he isn't prepared enough to actually take him out. Like he doesn't, he
Yeah,
has enough to,
he'll stop the initial wave. He can't stop the entire wave.
yeah, you can't. You can only build up your storm wall so high. Tsunami's coming, brother. Better get to safety. Hit the hills, as they say, because the Burns is coming for you. But yeah, just give me Gilbert. Fucking what a guy. He's gonna get it done.
Let's get to the reason why we're here, Mr. Watts.
Yep,
The
yep, yep.
middleweight world championship between Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya. Adesanya coming in at -135. Alex Pereira coming in at +15. Pereira 2-0 versus Izzy in kickboxing, 1-0 versus him in MMA. Two things I want to state before we can talk about the fight. First thing, Izzy said in a very respectful way, Pereira would not be who he is if I didn't exist. And a lot of people were getting mad at him, and I was like, no, he's right. He is very right. If Izzy didn't exist, but he would have never gotten a title shot that fast. Like that's the whole reason they wanted this story card. And I'm not knocking Pereira either, but like Israel was needed for his story. And there's a lot of that's not just Izzy. That's not just Pereira. There's a lot of fucking fighters like that they needed. Like George St. Pierre needed Matt Hughes to start the George St. Pierre era. Like if it wasn't anyone else, it wouldn't have been the same. You know what I mean? Like John Jones needed Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier needed John Jones. Like they helped each other's legacies. That's part of it. The other thing I want to say is there's this misconception of weight bullying in MMA, and I want to just shoot that down right now. If Pereira might be cutting a fuck ton of weight, but don't go out there and say he only wins fights because he's weight bullying people. You understand how hard it is to cut that fucking weight?
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's just like, oh, dude, I'm gonna go cut 50 pounds real quick. No, that shit fucking sucks a lot. So if he's able to do it, respect to him. Don't fucking knock him for that.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. I think that's the dumbest thing that people keep trying to say, weight bullying. Now, when can you say weight bullying? In a fight like Islam and Volk, when Volk went up to Islam's weight class, and the only reason he won was because of size. But when you're fighting when they're both making 85, dude, and that's Izzy's fault. Izzy walks around at fucking 200. He should be fighting at 170 anyways.
Yeah. I mean, look, everyone has their own reasonings for why they do what they do. I just think it's a dumb argument to try to discredit fighters for fighting within the rules. Like we have rules for a reason, and he's not breaking any rules for doing what he's doing. So if you're going to try to use that to discredit him, I think it's just a hater mentality. Losers find excuses, as they always say. So if you want to choose that mentality of trying to find an excuse for why Izzy's losing, you're just a fucking loser, dude. Like, just learn to accept it. Only they teach you your whole life in any aspect. Only losers have excuses. Winners accept things for what they are and then move on from it. That's just how it is. That's how I've always seen it. I don't understand the arguments against Pereira. I just don't really get why so many people are against him. I think it's just because they love Izzy so much that they just hate to see him lose and not be in the spotlight. But we were talking about this earlier. I think I completely agree with you in the aspect of I think Pereira being a champ opens up so many doors for the division. It allows for so many people to fight and contend for the belt. And it's not because I don't think Izzy is beatable. I do think he's beatable, but I just think Pereira wrestling and
Pereira
grappling
has no
wise,
wrestling. He has no.
yeah, he's just not on par. And it's not to say he hasn't been working on it, but it'd be a disrespect to every other fighter in the division,
Yeah.
like Robert Whitaker, guys like that who've been doing it their whole lives, and to think that Pereira could just like pick up how to properly grapple and wrestle in a year.
Yeah.
In 1 year. Yeah, you think you can do that? No. Like, I just don't get it. I truly believe Pereira is Izzy's kryptonite. It's just how it is. Honestly, Izzy'd still be the champ if he would have never came out in that interview and said that Pereira was gonna get his dick sucked by a crack whore. If he would have never said that in an interview, I think we would have never had this instance. But because of that, Pereira, someone showed him that video and he was like, "I'm gonna go be an MMA fighter now."
You know what's cool though is Pereira's not really like an asshole in real life. Like he said, he said, "I hate trash talking."
Yeah,
because that's not me. I don't like.
I'm humble.
It's like, bro, and the thing is, like, I think one thing that makes him so scary isn't how he looks, is that he doesn't have fear. He's an Amazonian. Like he's not like a normal Brazilian. He's from like the fucking tribes of the Amazon jungle. Like he's a fucking like warrior, like an actual like Amazonian warrior.
Yeah. Like when they heard that meme of like, if you see me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear. That was literally him. I mean, he would hunt bears with his bare hands. And
dude, have you seen like when he took the belt back to his village and they like picked him up and everything? It's so sick.
Yeah,
it's so sick.
He's literally a warrior in a jungle.
And he also is nasty with handguns and he's filthy with a bow.
Yeah, no, he's through and through just like a warrior. I would pay an infinite amount of money to just watch a video of him and John Jones hanging out, because I feel like they all do the same shit, and like just they wouldn't speak, they would just shoot guns at shit. Like they're just walking around. Like,
Pereira wouldn't go beat his wife after they hang out.
Yes, yeah, big misconception there, but Jesus Christ, I don't know where that came from.
John Jones.
All right, come on, man. Golly.
Regardless, all right, but yeah, let's tap into this fight, Zach. What are we thinking so far?
As much as I want to believe that Izzy can keep this rivalry alive and pull out a win, set up for the inevitable MMA trilogy that would go down in history as one of the biggest pay-per-view sales of all time, I just think Pereira is the physical embodiment of a hater. Like, it just literally doesn't get any. I see new videos every day of like small interactions that Izzy does, and then without Pereira even trying, just like doing the opposite.
Yeah,
like we saw the video of Izzy throwing away monster cans and Pereira just dripped out monster
in monster gear.
It's like I'm the biggest monster lover ever. Like, just how it is.
He is in Izzy's head rent fucking
free. And
the Pokemon jacket.
Bro, look at the tweet I just sent you. Look what Izzy posted. Did you see he posted it 3 hours ago?
I was at practice.
You have to look at it. It is so funny. It's not even a Pokemon.
AJ Ferrari decided to show Kevin all his abs in the middle of an argument. Douchebag. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, like, bro, what? And then, by the way, Izzy continuing to be just the most cringe man on the face of the earth. Izzy, why are you wearing a dog collar? I'm finna let the dogs out. Like,
no, I'm finna go off the leash.
Oh, sick, dog.
Yeah, he's super cringy, but I'm gonna be honest. I kind of like him. Like not champ Izzy, I kind of like.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a Rob Ride or Die guy. I love Rob. But I think Izzy wins this one. I think he wins it. I think the UFC wants him to win it because they just make a trilogy and they just keep making money off these two guys fucking fighting each other.
Yep.
I think he wins it. I think I think it's gonna be way more boring. I think Izzy's gonna point fight him. I think he's not gonna let the engagements. He's gonna point fight him and dance on the outside. Just point fight him and dance on the outside and win the boy.
I think point fighting is how you lose because, bro, these guys are kickboxers. They're used to point fighting. They can.
He almost slept Pereira in the first fight. There was 10 seconds.
He's done it. He's done it multiple times. The first Glory kickboxing fight nearly slept him in like 3 rounds. Pereira just has the strength in the later rounds to land one clean ass left hook, and it's over.
You know what's scary too? You know he's a lefty, and he fights with his left side forward because he thinks his hook is more deadly than his cross.
Yeah, because he can fire off so fast. Because you're always taught in kickboxing. They're like, all right, your jab hand is just for kind of like gauging difference and like getting easy points, but your backhand is your sniper. That's your can't miss. Like you hit with that, it's over. His is both ways.
Yeah,
he can literally.
And he switches stances like a motherfucker too.
The hand that he jabs you with is the hand that will put you out 9 out of 10 times. And if you're so cautious, waiting for that front hand, and you're trying to parry it all the time, I guarantee you his cross hurts just as bad. He's just not throwing it as much.
Yeah.
So pick your poison with that. Not only that, the videos that I see the most between these two guys is Izzy's at his best when he can land his leg kicks, and Pereira's the only guy that like checks it every time.
Yeah, he shut his leg kicks down.
He can't land a leg kick on Pereira. It's just impossible. It's physically like impossible to land it on him. I don't know I don't know how you're that big, cut that much weight, and you're still that nimble on your feet. I don't understand what you're made of. Like he's not real in my mind. I don't think he's real. I think Izzy was good for so long that like a physical embodiment of the hatred of everyone just like came alive.
Just turned it out. He was born at 15. He was already like he just came out at like 15.
No, we're gonna have a documentary in like 15 years where all schizophrenic. Pereira never existed. He never existed. He was never real. That's why he doesn't speak English. So we don't see interviews.
I think that's scarier. I think it's scarier when they don't speak English.
Oh yeah, because you can kind of say like some weak shit. There's nothing you can say that doesn't sound terrifying in Brazilian.
Bro, and Alex Pereira, you throw a suit on him, he looks like a fucking hitman.
And he should be in John Wick.
Yeah, he would be a sick bad character in John Wick.
Yeah.
John Wick dies at the end of the movie though. Sorry to ruin it for you. So can't make another one.
I'm literally gonna kill you. I'm literally going to rip your balls off. The fact that I have not seen John Wick and you did that to me,
dude, it sucks. The fourth one sucks. I'm the biggest John Wick dick rider, and the fourth one sucks.
All right, so I don't even need to see it
anymore. It's honestly the worst one. It's not good. The bad guy in it sucks. The story, like, there's only so many times you can fall off a 5 fucking story building and live, dude.
We better have a disclaimer in this pod. John Wick spoilers ahead, because if you just out and say that in the middle of a pod, if we were doing a live show, you'd be crucified. The internet would crucify.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, I was gonna watch that. Like,
yeah. John Wick, I hear a doorbell. My doorbell ring. John Wick is at my house, but like the Fortnite John Wick.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is just going. Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Izzy. Decision. I'm gonna take an Izzy decision.
Damn. I'm gonna.
Dude, you're low key a Pereira meat rider.
I'm gonna have Pereira meat rider. I'm gonna take Pereira by John Wick pencil stabbing.
He has to finish him. He can't beat Izzy in the point fight.
He's gonna pull out a pencil. He's gonna put it in his cage. He's just gonna Izzy pop him right in the face.
This guy killed 3 men in a bar with a fucking pencil. Yeah, man. Keanu Reeves, bro, come on the pod. We'd love to talk with you, bro.
I love to shoot some guns with Keanu Reeves. Yeah, but I will say this. Regardless, I think, dude, I've had this weird feeling. I see Izzy getting like 3 takedowns in 3 straight rounds and just like going up 3-0, and then
Izzy Nurmagomedov. That's what I would.
Yeah. No, I 100% believe it.
Dude, Pereira took Izzy down last fight.
Yeah, but now Izzy's gonna be like, I'm fucked. I got to do it.
Do you blame him if he wins that way?
Nope. I know it'll piss everyone off, and that would be
as a fan, I'm like, fuck you. But as a fighter, I'm like, dude, 100% do that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the UFC world title. It doesn't matter how you get it. Fucking get it.
Yeah, get
The
it.
best in the
Fuck.
world.
Yeah, what the fuck? All right. You admit defeat on the feet, on your feet. You
You're still the
admit
world
defeat in the
champion.
striking. Yeah.
Still the world champion.
Guess what? You're better at him in 2/3 of fighting because there's multiple ways you could beat a man on the ground.
Yeah. Also, this is MMA. This isn't kickboxing, so it's not his fault.
By the way, if I want to know the odds for Pereira to win via submission because if Izzy took him down and Pereira just knew and had a
Somehow caught him in a
guillotine,
guillotine.
and everyone's like, "What is happening? What is happening?" Because if Izzy gets put to sleep, it's over. There actually is no
You
physical.
think he retires?
What do you do?
Go to welterweight.
Go to glory. Pereira would find a way to make welterweight. He would like remove a rib. He would remove his ribs and be like, I can do it.
Dude, but what if Izzy retires or Pereira retires? He's like, my mission here is done.
Izzy goes back to glory. He's like, I'm retired from MMA. I'm going back to glory.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy how like this dude doesn't even care to win the title. He just wants to. This guy isn't chasing dreams. He just wants to make sure Izzy don't happen.
Yeah, no, he's the embodiment of hating.
Yeah.
There is no bit like that's probably the greatest life ever. Like, what's your life goal? Just to be better than this guy.
Yeah. What if he's the worst in the world? Well, as long as I'm the second worst.
Yeah, like I'm fine. Yeah. You just gotta be better than this guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, as a kid, you're like, all right, that's a pretty weird dream, bro. You're like, dude, you're a UFC champion. Isn't this what you dreamed of? Nah.
No, I just want to be better than him.
Yeah. I just really fucking hate that guy. This guy sucks. I don't like anything he does. Just
what do you want to be when you grow up? Just better than Izzy.
Better than him. Just like you transfer to the same school, you just point at him all the time.
You're like better at what? I don't know. Whatever he's good at, he's gonna be better.
Don't matter to me.
You see the thing? It's like Israel Adesanya retires to go play chess. Alex Pereira,
Grandmaster.
Yeah.
Grandmaster chess player. They should just have a show. They should just have a show where it's just like Pereira, like a day in the life, and it's just him like watching Izzy with binoculars, just like miles away. And he's like,
"Oh my god, this is so fucking awesome!"
Like,
yeah, the monster one that I sent you was hilarious.
Oh yeah, because
he just dripped down monster.
Yeah, like, bruh. Oh my god! Like I want to know like what goes through his head because he still respects Izzy because they asked him like he
called him a warrior. Yeah,
they give him like the word challenge and stuff. Like he obviously respects him, but like something had to have happened for him to just like chase this man down for like the end of his life. Pereira's gonna die 1 second after Izzy.
He called his mom a crackpot whore or something.
I thought he called Izzy, or no. I thought he called. Because the interview I'm thinking of with the whole crack whore incident is when Izzy became champion, they're asking about his 2 losses in glory. He's like, man, fuck that guy. He's like, he's probably going to be at some bar one day and he's going to be talking to her, be like, oh, I beat that guy trying to get a blowjob from some crack whore for $10. And then Pereira saw that. It was like, oh, I guess I didn't whoop your ass enough. Let me call up my friend over here. Hey, you want to train me in MMA for like 2 months? All right.
Glover Teixeira. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yo, also real quick, yeah, I know I gotta go into bed, but people hating on Chuck Liddell on Twitter.
Yeah, whoa.
Like he wasn't a UFC world champion. Like what?
Yeah, well, yeah, dude. And this is the problem I have with it. People are like, oh, training with Chuck Liddell ain't gonna get you anywhere. Like, what the hell is that gonna do? I'm like, I'm sorry. You may know Chuck Liddell from Blue Mountain State's Cock Gobblers, the little expired penis things where he trained Sammy to fight. Chuck is a Division I wrestler and was amazing in the UFC.
He was a world champion. He had a world title.
Yeah. Go meet Chuck Liddell in person, look him up and down, and say, yeah, I could probably take you.
Yeah, like
see how that goes.
Old, but like people are like, well, this is in 2001. What does Chuck know? I think if Chuck Liddell called Vince and was like, I want to run Grayson's camp, I think Vince would be like, yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Like,
not only that,
UFC world champion.
Yeah. Not only that, this is another thing I don't get. Training might have picked up over the years based off how we do camps. The basis of wrestling, striking, jiu-jitsu has not revamped in the years. Yeah. We didn't find.
You think Chuck hasn't evolved with it also? Like he still coaches MMA and still trains.
Yeah. Exactly. Like there wasn't a point within the last 10, 20 years where we suddenly revamped how we look at wrestling or how we look at jujitsu or how we look at striking. The basis for all combat's still there. It's just how we train for it differs. That's the only thing that changed. These guys still know everything. They just only used to train their strengths. There was no fight film back then. They didn't sit down and say, "Let me break down my guy's weaknesses to
No,
beat
they
him."
just trained and then wouldn't
It
fall.
literally it was the down to its bare bones. It was just straight combat. If you were to meet a man on the streets, how would it go down? And that's how it was. That's literally how it was in the old UFC. It was this guy trains this guy trains this. Throw him in there. Make weight. Fuck it. See what happens. Now it's a little different. Now we actually like works to the T on game planning. There's actually like coaches that matter now in the UFC. But back then it was just, yeah, I'm gonna go do what I do every day of my life and I'm gonna go fight now.
Yeah.
And suddenly they just don't know anymore. But you know, what do we know? We're just guys that sit and talk some shit. But at least we're not hating. Well, we do hate. We actually hate a lot. I hate a lot. But yeah. Episode 83.
Yo,
UFC
Izzy,
287.
we're gonna wrap up real quick. Izzy just tweeted, USADA monitor us from the moment we get off the scale till we hit the arena on Saturday. Have people take shifts if they have to. No loopholes to jump here. I wonder if he's saying that I wonder if he's saying he thinks Pereira's gonna take something.
No. I think he's saying USADA like monitors us from the moment we get off the scale.
No, he's telling them to do it. He's saying USADA do this.
Interesting. Okay, titty man.
But yeah, UFC 286, Alex, 287 maybe? What is it? 287, Pereira versus Izzy 2/4 in Miami, Florida. Got your picks, you know what we think. Zach Watts, any last words?
Still nothing more on IV Gate. Apparently that was a big deal for all of one day. So
Yeah, I know. I kind of got brushed under the rug real fast.
yeah, go get your IVs, kids, and go fight because they're not gonna do shit to stop you so long as you're a world champion. So or beat your wife, I guess.
Yeah.
That's not advice. That is not advice. Do not do that.